I'll say that.
Yes, and we're clear.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast. Today it is April 22nd.
Yeah.
Earth Day.
Secretary's Day.
Secretary's Day. Happy Earth Day and happy Whores Day. Zing. Anyways, we're here.
You like that one? That was more than anyone else did.
Happy
Dirty Slut Whores Day.
I'm happy to be here with you fellas. We're here live from HQ3 and Son of a Boy Dad. Welcome back.
First episode since Taylor Swift's release.
Yes, first episode since Drake made his diss track an official track on Spotify.
Yes, that's huge too.
Yeah.
I'm officially tired of these people filming themselves listening to Taylor Swift shit though.
I don't know if I've seen any of that. Oh, people crying listening to it?
Crying.
I've only ever seen that one video of the girl outside of the stadium crying. And her friends are like laughing.
Now there's 10,000 of that video of people just sitting in their apartment with like their hoods up, just like looking at each other like shocked, gasping, crying. I'm tired of it.
The New York Times wrote an article today about Taylor Swift has given a lot to her fans. Is it too much? That people are wary. They're weary. They're weary of how much she's putting out. And people are tired of her, even her fans.
I was under the impression that this album was pretty mid, right?
I don't know. I tried to listen to it, and I
haven't heard it yet.
This feels like that podcast with those high school kids on the couch.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that I'm under the impression it was pretty mid. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's actually spot on, Jason. Yeah, it's I couldn't listen all the way through, but the discourse around it is what's driving me crazy right now.
I really haven't seen much about it. I just saw that it came out.
Somehow my algorithm has just because I hate watched enough videos of just people being like, oh no, a typewriter. You know what that means.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Dude, if you watch one video all the way through on any social media platform now, the next 7 videos you see will be related to that video.
Yeah.
Like they're on the algorithm. Like it changes second by second now.
Right. I have a endless barrage of gay porn now.
I got a lot of people falling off cliffs.
Really?
Yeah.
Like midsummer?
Well, yeah, just I for some reason I watch a lot of cliff diving videos. I get into those rabbit holes.
Those are good.
Those are great.
Yeah, they're great videos.
But even better are people accidentally diving off cliffs.
I've never seen those. I've seen the people that do the squirrel suit and then they slam into the bridges.
I thought there was only one guy that slammed into a bridge.
It might be just one guy, but it is the
Was
loudest
it a bridge?
Noise. Yes.
I saw the guy who hit the sort of cornice of the cliff.
No, there's one
he
where
he broke his legs in doing so, but he still managed to pull his chute and land and survive.
Oh no, this guy exploded.
So,
oh no, he was jelly.
He turned into a fine dust.
Yeah, a jam.
Well, here's one I started watching today is car simulations of different models of cars.
Oh, I love those videos.
What do they do?
Jumping, and then getting into accidents and the percentage of survival.
You gotta not watch those.
Why?
It's just brain rot. That's all that is. Dude, that's a kid playing GTA throwing random numbers on the screen.
You think?
There's no
Because I have a Tesla Model 3, and I thought
he fucks the Tesla every time.
He always fucks the Tesla.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I think in my car, knowing it as I do, I would take it at the proper trajectory to have at least
you'd land it like the Blues Brothers going over the bridge.
48% survival, I would say. 48%.
I don't know. I've watched those videos for an extended period of time and then got off my phone and been like, what was I just doing?
Yeah.
I just watched that for an hour.
Well, all of this brain rot, as you put it, has conjured a question in my brain that I have not been able to get past. And it's keeping me up at night. And I'm glad I'm here today to ask it of you too.
Yes.
Yeah. Which of the following two things would make you feel more guilty if you were to be the reason for them? 1, you blind a child.
Okay.
2,
Mark Wahlberg.
you paralyze a child?
Damn, that's such a good question.
It's a good question.
What's going to be harder for you to live with for the rest of your life?
Paralyzing.
Oh, I was going to say blind.
Really?
See, it's not so obvious.
Yes, this is one of the great questions of our time, I think.
I
People
would
will
say
debate
blind.
this like red dress, gold dress.
Yeah.
Whatever, blue dress, gold dress. Why
That'd be good.
blind?
Well, so full body paralyzed.
So
Or like the legs,
that
or like
is
legs
tricky. Yeah, let's just say
legs
they can
down,
still
one
they
night
can
of
still
sleep. I'd forget
they
about
can
it.
still wait.
He said legs down, one night of sleep.
Guilty conscience is clean.
He'd sleep a little bit.
All right. So I want to make it closer for you then.
Okay.
So you don't feel that bad about people that have to wheel themselves with their hands, that still have the use of their hands?
If you still have the use of your hands, I think that is so much better than being blind. You're just kind of like a pain in the ass. But people would still you still have friends and shit.
Like complaining about accessibility and shit like that.
No.
Yeah. Like, is there a ramp at your house before I come?
People that I know, that are in wheelchair bound but have use of their hands are honestly the most inspiring people I've ever met. I have never met anyone like that who was super bitter about it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also you could do what we're doing right now. You could play video games. You could.
I will say, one time we were in high school and there was a girl that was in a wheelchair, and we were at a house party and it was in someone's basement, and they had to take the storm entrance, the storm doors, and we had to carry her down. And I volunteered. The second we picked her up, I was like, "This was a terrible idea."
Why? Heavy as fuck.
I thought I was going to double paralyze her. It was so difficult.
Those stairs are steep as hell, too.
Yeah, very, very hard.
Yeah.
Very ungainly to carry a person.
How many boys did you have? How
in
many
a wheelchair?
strong boys?
We had 4 of us.
Okay.
But there's no easy way to have 4 people carry.
They need to put rods on them like a bicycle. They need spokes like it's a litter.
Like we are
honestly, it's a
bringing
good
her
idea.
through the crowds of Rome.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's got like a spiderweb veil over her face.
They need to. I don't know why they don't make it more accessible like that.
Yeah.
4 seems like a lot. 4 seems like everyone was like, I want to get a slice. Like I want other people
want a
to
little
see
valor.
me carrying. Yeah.
We need,
because you need to. You only need to.
No, we needed every one of us. Going downstairs that steep?
Especially on a wheelchair. If you have 2, she's going backwards.
Exactly.
Was it like a Stephen Hawking wheelchair or just traditional wheelchair?
No, it wasn't a Stephen Hawking. You think she's going to a house party down in Storm City? You think we're taking
Was
that
she
on?
paralyzed or
Let's
she just
play
had like
beer
an
pong.
injury?
She was paralyzed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paralyzed.
Quad or paraplegic?
I'm glad that you said that because I did not remember. I knew there was nomenclature for this, but I couldn't remember what it was.
Quad is all 4.
Right.
Paraplegic is just a pair of legs gone.
Is where you have a parrot speak for you.
Yeah. It's when you're a pirate who's paralyzed.
Yeah. No, she only didn't have the use of her legs.
Interesting.
Okay. So she was giving out handies.
I'm still going blind. If it's only legs, I'm going with that over blind every time.
So you said that you can still do this if your legs are gone. You could be a blind podcaster.
Yeah, you could be a blind. The first open mic I ever went to, or the second one, me and Owen were there, and there was a dude with a wheelchair, and he was the funniest person on the show by a mile.
I'll tell you what, if I'm blind, I'm not living in New York City. I don't care how bad you want to be a comedian. Are you out of your fucking mind?
No, that's crazy.
New York?
But it's better. How is it better in the country?
Because you just have...
You can sit and braille read a book with the light sunshine filtering through the trees, drinking iced tea, hear the birds.
In New York, it's like... It doesn't matter if you have a 10 square foot apartment or a 3,000 square foot apartment if you're blind.
I just wouldn't want. There's a blind guy in this in this building, right?
Say again.
There's a blind guy in this building.
There is
like,
a high
works or
density
lives.
of blindness in this area.
Yeah.
Because there's some kind
Sea
of
Less Manor.
There is some kind of some sort of like moth flame that they can feel. I guess I don't know how they're all getting there, but there are a lot of them, and
they say it's a different level of darkness when you're blind versus when you have no eyeballs.
I mean, the amount we would save on motorized blinds, because I'm at a point now where I cannot sleep without full blackout curtains.
Really?
And if I have to get up instead of pressing a button, I'm not tired anymore. Now I'm moving around.
Or the sliver in hotels probably drives you crazy.
Drives me nuts.
You have to be incensed.
Yeah.
Why did you ask that question?
I
Have you
was just
blinded a
thinking-
boy?
I was just thinking about it. I don't know exactly. I must have seen. I was thinking about, the worst things that one could do to a child, things that would be really hard to overcome, both from a reputation standpoint. If you lived in a village, say, everyone would know you for that thing.
Mark Wahlberg blinded 2 people.
Yeah, but he's been so good in so many films.
Right. And he's been such a good guy in the movies.
He's the
It's
EP
true.
of Entourage, which is
And he stopped 9/11.
that's worth at least
True.
5 kids,
Yeah, but these were adults.
adult kids.
What do you think? Do you think it'd be worse to blind a kid or an adult? I think an adult.
Oh
would
no,
be
it's
worse.
always kid.
No.
Oh, it's always kid.
No, because if you blind a kid, then it's like, well, you didn't really have much time seeing anyway.
That's
So you don't really know what you're
nuts.
missing out on.
You could argue if you blind an adult, at least they had half their life, and now they can draw. Their spank bank is much fuller.
That's 100% what it comes down to is the spank bank.
It's so much fuller.
Yeah, but then when you get blind, you become attracted to different things like textures and smells. So maybe like a nice beef stew gets it done for you.
The blinds are beating off to a stroganoff?
I'd assume so, yeah. A nice lasagna fresh out of the oven.
That can't be what drives them wild.
It's got to be something like, it's got to be texture and smell, maybe
Do
sound.
you think that if you were a blind person who really liked boobs,
Yeah.
which my guess is they're fans.
That has to be their main thing.
My guess is they're fans, yeah. Why wouldn't they be, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
And, do you think
Even some nipples have braille on them, honestly.
Yeah, that was exactly. That's exactly what I was going to ask. If there was a boob that was covered in pimples and warts and ingrown hairs and stuff like that, are they as turned off by that, even more so perhaps than a seeing able person?
No, they probably like that more.
What?
More texture,
More
you're
texture,
saying?
yeah.
Just a little bit of grip to it, or just
Yeah.
nuances.
As opposed to a smooth.
And they have to find
breast.
the actual nipple. They don't even know where.
Wow, that's a mangled. That is an off-road breast.
And you said it had ingrown hairs and warts.
That is the.
Mars breasts.
Yeah.
But I wasn't picturing bumps the size of other nipples.
Oh, I was. When I think of warts,
It's
I
a
think of
road
a
in
big,
New Delhi,
I think of a big bump.
down which an ox cart wheel might lose its spokes.
Yeah. Just going off-roading on a titty. But the blind man has to find new things to be attracted to, you
Yes.
think. Whereas the paraplegic can just go back to their... I knew a ornery, nasty paraplegic, and he had a girlfriend that he had from beforehand, and I think he was like so insistent on like letting me know that his dick still worked that he would make like crass jokes and embarrass her about the sex that they had in front of me.
Interesting. That's too bad. That's sad.
Yeah,
Because I was thinking he must be someone who had certainly found the art of cunnilingus.
yeah. She
and then
just
he-
sits down on him.
Well, yeah, but then he has to have sort of an MMA tap out, I can't breathe, move.
Or he
type thing.
flops down onto her.
Oh, you think he goes face first?
I
'Cause
don't
was
know.
thinking
That's
it was
what-
like when you get your hair washed at the barber. He's sort of tilting back and she's coming in there.
Yeah.
Do wheelchairs recline
You
like
can do
that?
wheelies on them. You ever sat in a wheelchair? I'm going to be honest
I
with
have,
you.
yes.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's very fun.
To the degree of you start to lose a little bit of sympathy.
Well, no, it's fun. It's fun because you know you have the option of standing up afterwards.
Yeah, except think of how much walking you do that makes you tired. Think of joint pain in your legs.
I
But it's
don't
like
have that.
it's like a vacation in Antarctica. It's like interesting because you can leave.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the waterboarding thing that we were talking about last week.
Uh-huh.
Like it doesn't count because you know you're not
Look, I
living
am
in the
trying
wheelchair.
to be a
So just get it out there. Did you blind a kid or did you paralyze a kid?
neither.
You paralyzed a blind kid.
I think
Yeah.
I think if I got here, I think I got here through this thought, which was that if I love to move around quite a bit.
Yeah.
By the way, there's something
But
you're
you
not
also love to
considering.
see.
I also love to see. If either one of these things happened to me, is there one that would make me more likely to want to just give up and die?
Probably both.
And I got that idea from $1 Million Baby. I'm not just being dramatic here. Because
if you did it, or if one of those happened
to
you.
me,
Okay.
if I was paralyzed all of a sudden at this point in my life, knowing how much I like to,
if I was paralyzed
swim
today,
and run and all that,
I don't think I would notice for like a week. If I got paralyzed from
my
the
legs
waist,
are really asleep today.
Yeah.
Man,
Wait, have I shit this week?
I must have been on the toilet for a long.
I haven't shit all week.
Like
Man, that's
nothing would
crazy.
change for me. Like it would take until
Boy, my apartment really smells.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's me.
Is that bed sores? Or?
I have no shows until Friday. That's when I would first notice that I'm paralyzed. That's when it would first kick in. And it would
He's
be
not
like
even
15
kidding.
minutes before my spot.
Oh Lord! And you'd cancel. At
You
that
try to
point.
run over
Yeah.
there and you just
Yeah.
fall
Yeah.
onto the ground. You would be way funnier though if you were paralyzed. Think about how funny that dude was at your second open mic that you went to.
He killed. But they did have to carry him on stage. So you gotta really kill.
There's no because there's no ramp.
No, this was at Eastville Comedy Club in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And they carried him onto the stage.
Mm.
And then he killed. But it's like, dude, imagine sucking. Imagine they carry you up and then you bomb.
They just
And then
leave you
they're-
up there.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you can just sit in it now.
go
In
to the
some ways,
corner.
it is the perfect outlet. It is the perfect thing. I would say that an audience is probably more than likely to give you the benefit of the doubt.
True.
If you come up in a wheelchair, in
Yeah.
fact, I might have to go find that one that I used to use for fun.
Some of the wheelchairs, the electric ones, have so there's 2 wheels up front, 2 bigger wheels in the back.
Yes.
But then 2 tiny wheels behind that
Mhm,
that
so
are
it doesn't
up.
tip.
Yeah, but it's almost like they want you to do wheelies
Yeah.
for the fact that they
Yeah.
have those
Yeah.
tiny wheels.
It's like
Mhm.
training wheels.
It's like on Bike Life when dudes are leaning backwards,
Oh, yeah.
dragging their hand behind
Yeah.
them.
I got to the point when my friends had a wheelchair in their apartment
Yeah.
because some girl had brought it over because she used to bring it. They used to go to this bar called Sidebar on
Yeah.
Sundays for football, and it
Yeah.
was so crowded and it was miserably uncomfortable. It was just packed. And so she bought a wheelchair on Amazon so that she could go to Sidebar so people would give her space, but she didn't actually need it. But people give space to a person in a wheelchair
That's
at a
insane.
crowded bar. So she
Yeah.
would do this.
Did she have nice legs? Or did she let her legs atrophy just for the
Oh
sake
no,
of it?
I'm sure that they were well muscled and tan and
I would be
defined.
furious if I saw someone with muscular legs fucking sitting in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I'd
What
tip
about
them out.
Yeah, like what did she go to the bathroom? Like
But
someone had to
you
have
could
noticed.
assume someone in a wheelchair is just recovering from
From
a
an
surgery
injury,
or
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. What was your question?
Did she ever go to the bathroom and someone would be like, you're standing. What's going on?
Again, I think that's just one of those things where you can't assume that it's a complete.
True. I guess you could go to the bathroom and maybe limp a little bit. Put
Yeah.
on a show.
You're going to want to ask for a hand.
Yeah.
And girls are good at that.
I wonder what percentage of people in wheelchairs, just in general, don't actually need to be in them. Because at the airport, it's 100%.
At the airport, it's
100%. Oh, it's
100% of people.
100%. Seeing an elderly person get out of a wheelchair and walk completely comfortably into the x-ray machine and then out the other side.
Yeah. At JFK specifically, going
Yeah.
to the Delta gates that are 2 miles away from security. I mean, they're just handing out wheelchairs.
Honestly, I want to start going up to the people the soldiers who are accusing people of stolen valor.
Oh, yeah. Start
Be like,
tipping
where'd you
them.
do your surgery?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the medical center where you did your surgery? What was the procedure where they do the incision?
Have you ever seen that Louis bit where he's talking about how he was in a small town and there was he was walking by a pawn shop or something and there was a wheelchair in the window and he was like, I don't know how much of an impulse purchase that is. Someone just being like, oh, that would help a lot with my paralysis. So I don't have to drag myself down the sidewalk anymore.
I can't believe this girl stole valor in a wheelchair.
Yes, she bought it and then she left it at my friend's apartment and it was there. They used it as extra seating for football games and stuff because we would go there to watch games. And I would always sit in it. And I got to the point where I could pretty much hang out in a wheelie without needing to adjust much.
In a wheelie, like you could do a wheelie and just chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
What was it? Core strength?
It's easy. No, it's just knowing that, not panicking. Do you remember those bongo boards?
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
Where you'd kind of go like that.
Yeah.
But if you got the hang of it, it was all about just don't move much.
Yeah.
Same with wheeling.
I was good as hell at those.
Those were great.
Yeah.
I liked those.
You have the benefit that if you fall backwards out of it, you can just roll onto your feet. Whereas if you're in a wheelchair, you're going to have to like crawl back into that chair. It's going to be nasty.
To this point, the girl I mentioned from high school, whom we brought down the stairs, I think it's who we brought down the stairs. We created a dance circle at that dance party, and she went in the middle and did wheelies, and we all cheered.
That's awesome.
Now, I would not have applauded as loudly had I known how easy it was to do that. I gave her undue credit, but I wouldn't know that until years later when I learned to do it myself.
Yes, understood.
Imagine having a real wheelchair and being in the corner of that party, just furious that everybody's celebrating this fake wheelchair girl.
Yeah.
Because you can't do a wheelie, probably.
Correct. If you're, because then there's paraplegics whose hands are sort of like clubs. They're a bit like what you would do to your hand if you'd hurt your hand, like what JPP has to do for a game.
Yes, you wrap it up.
Yeah, and they sort of seem to wheel using the palms.
It's like Tua when he got injured. They have
And the palm. I mean, there's not a lot of dexterity in palms. And that's why then you understand the fingerless gloves on people in wheelchairs.
Oh, I've never seen that.
But
I've seen that only in like the basketball wheelchair.
Yeah. Do those people qualify as paraplegics, or would you call them quads, or are they regaining over time the use of their fingers?
I think pair is just legs. So I don't know if you have your fingers. I don't know. That's a good question. That's an important distinction to make. I don't know.
I'm thinking of Jason Street in Friday Night Lights. That's who I'm thinking of.
I never watched.
Because his hands were sort of permanently closed and like a little bit of a bird.
Can you guys
shadow puppet?
Do you guys do a good job of not looking at people?
I'm on one today, man. I don't know what happened. I'm fucking exhausted.
You're having
saying
fun.
Insane shit. Oh, it's so horrible. I'm gonna end up paralyzed. I just know it.
Yeah.
No, maybe.
You are. Do you guys do a good job of not looking at people's like hands when they
No. Terrible. I'm like a little kid in Target with his mom. Staring right at it.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. Unclamp yourself.
Unclamp yourself. You have half of an arm.
Yeah. What about when you go to shake the hand of a person whose hand is malformed and you don't realize until you are shaking it?
You just have to shake it, right?
It's never happened to me ever.
You've never shaken either a stump or a nub?
If anything, I would just go for a fist bump.
Which is worse?
The
problem is you would think you should let them lead, right?
Are you coming across that many people with deformed arms and hands?
Happened. Yes, it has happened. I have shaken a mess. I don't really know.
I did have a guy come to a
what
show.
Else to call?
I did have a guy come to a show that was in a wheelchair, and this was in Ontario, California. And it was very difficult to read that situation, I will admit.
What did you do? What did you do?
I think I tried to shake his hand, but it was a very loose handshake.
You shook his mess.
And then he asked for a photo, and he had a digital camera.
How did you do that?
No, he had to give it to someone else to take the photo.
Okay.
He had you give it to someone else.
Yeah.
He's like, can you take this off my lap and give it to that guy?
Exactly.
I will say, those people are incredibly good at carrying things the way that we would if we told a person at a grocery store, I don't need any bags, but it was on the border.
Yeah.
Where it's all
I disagree.
tucked under the arm, and they have that. They've got the
It's like your airplane seat. You just like have everything
That's what I was just
jammed to the sides.
Yeah, they have pockets everywhere.
Oh, you think?
Absolutely. They got
pockets
on the sides.
I've seen people that don't have fully formed hands, and they're very good at their strength of arm to core sort of pull is
because that's their
second to
thumb,
none.
basically.
Yeah,
their elbow is their thumb.
Yes, that's how they secure things, and they could hold like 17 tennis balls.
I think you're giving too many props now. I think you're really giving it up to the wheelchair community.
Oh, we shouldn't honor them.
Well, I mean, no.
Let's not give them undue credit. I
don't think we need to.
No, you're right. You're right.
Praise them, but I will. No, I don't think that. I don't think that's that impressive.
That's good.
I don't think that's that impressive.
Spot on.
I don't think putting stuff in your lap is that impressive.
Let's not make it too easy for them.
You should see me. I mean, right now I have tons of stuff in my lap, in my pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You brought a lot of stuff in.
I
sure did.
Yeah.
I saw that.
They would also want the same standards that everybody has.
Exactly.
If you start giving them like, oh yeah, look, he's holding something under his wing.
Yeah, wow, what you got there? A tennis ball?
Right.
Wow.
You're really holding that.
Yeah.
Good job holding on to that.
Yeah.
Sometimes though, when I'm passing someone like that, I'll overlook away. Like if I'm passing someone who has a mess, I'll like stare to like the ceiling or something like that. I'll like run into something else because I'm just trying so hard not to bring attention to their mess.
Right.
I'll like walk into a fucking glass door.
I don't know. I don't really know what else to do. I don't know what the expectation is. But
I don't think there is any.
Let me glaze for 1 second. People who are disabled, in my experience, have the best sense of humor.
Which it seems like you have a lot of experiences with the disabled community.
I grew up in a place where people were falling down left and right, lumber accidents, steep hills, major opioid country.
Circular saws.
Yes.
Carpenters.
There was a high frequency of mess.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, we didn't even call our hospital a hospital. We called it a mess hall. You tried.
No,
you
I
tried,
knew exactly
but I got
where
it out
going.
under.
I knew exactly where it was going.
It's like when we play Egyptian rat screw, my hand was just
I've never
under
played
yours on the
Egyptian
slap.
rat screw.
Just under.
We seem to live much different lives.
Egyptian rat screw is a great card game.
Never even heard of it.
I think you'd recognize it.
Do you play that with your
saw it.
disabled friends?
Sure don't. You can't tell if part of their mess it just gets very
with your dozens of disabled friends.
It's like if one tentacle is under a finger, it just
is this because when you jumped off that dock and you hit your head, did they like put you in with the disabled kids in school, and then you kind of just grew up with those guys?
No, but I think that in that moment, I should have become disabled. I should have become paralyzed.
Yeah,
and by the grace of God, I didn't. But I now understand what it's like.
Yeah, horrific.
I have that experience. I have that life.
I think going back to the original question, I think like waking up, being blind or paralyzed, it's got to be paralyzed every time.
What are you saying?
You'd rather
worse?
or would
rather?
You'd rather wake up paralyzed?
Yeah, than wake up blind. Imagine waking up and you open your eyes and it's just, what do you even do? I was talking about this with my friends because my friend Bo just got LASIK. We were saying like, what if you go blind? And it's like, what would you do? Like you wake up, you're like, you're reaching for your phone. You have no idea where it is. Who do you just got to yell? I'd be in my apartment alone just yelling. Help! Like, at least if I was paralyzed, I'd wake up and I'd call my mom. I'd be like, you got to come to New York. Can't move.
What are you talking about? Call your mom. You're
Bring
paralyzed.
Bring a sponge.
Oh, I'm still thinking waist down. Obviously, if it's full body, I'm going blind every time.
All right.
Waist down, though. Like, I'd call my mom. I'd shuffle over to the living room.
Yeah.
Shuffle.
Yeah.
Like you're at
scooch. You'd scooch.
I'd scooch. I'd army crawl into the living room.
You're not army
lay
crawling.
on the couch.
You're not in that. You're not.
Absolutely, I would.
I think you're scooching.
And I'd probably order some food. Keeping the legs, losing the arms.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. By the way, there's an important distinction that needs to be made right now before we go any further in this conversation.
Okay.
people who are paralyzed, I'm pretty confident, live shorter lives. Their organs fail. There's a major drawback.
They don't want it as bad.
Yes, right.
Why? Because they can't like exercise and shit.
Being paralyzed, not moving, the loss of circulation in your legs, all of this, like your body doesn't function.
Motion is lotion.
As well. If you are not moving your legs, I don't think you live as long. It might shorten your lifespan by a significant margin. Whereas people who are blind can live till. In fact, I think all old people are blind.
I'm
and they
sure
just get old enough
going blind shortens your lifespan too.
No, you just see the future.
When you accidentally like walk in front of an 18-wheeler.
Yeah, or you slow down,
kill yourself,
and you feel with your stick. Oh, there's a little bit of a ledge here. Hello, could someone take my arm, preferably with an arm that's not a mess, and usher me across the street? Have you ever ushered a blind person across the street?
Never.
That would be good for you. Roan knows that I have because he saw me doing it when I didn't even know he was around, which means I did it the way that John Wooden wants you to do it, which is when no one else is looking.
I walked up behind Francis and he was walking the blind person, but then he was like, "Wait, how far do you have? 34th Street?" He was like, "I'll just leave you here."
Well, I also could feel that there was nothing.
Stay here for an hour.
There was no cash in his pockets, and at that point, it was like, "What are we even doing here?"
He had folded up the bills differently.
Yeah.
The losing your arms thing is like you can't just be paralyzed at your arms; like they would have to be gone.
Paralyzed in the arms would be a breeze. I mean, people wouldn't even notice. You could just walk. You could just like walk down the street. People would be like, "Wow, that guy's a very flamboyant walk."
Or it's like cool. It would look cool.
His arms are swinging in the wind.
You're just relaxing your arms.
Paralyzed in the arms.
Fighting a dude while you're paralyzed in the arms and just spinning in circles.
I'd shake your hand, but these are just for show. It's not even for me. It's to make other people more comfortable. I had the option to remove them. In fact, these are prosthetics. No use. But
they would show the guys who, or it was girls actually, who had no arms, and they'd be making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches
with their feet.
Yes, with their feet, like climbing up onto their counter.
I would never do any of that shit. That shit's weird.
What? Wait,
I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't start
to
using
use your feet.
No, I wouldn't be using my feet as tools.
Why not?
That's weird.
You have to.
It's creepy.
Then your only other option is your neck.
Is your mouth and your neck.
Is your neck where you're holding an orange. Like in a,
I don't know,
country fair game.
Maybe I would in private. I don't think I would in public. Like I wouldn't want to sit here and be like, I got to order an Uber.
But you let me get my toes out, flexible. And I've seen a guy who was able to cast a fishing rod with his feet, and that's something you would pick up.
Yeah, you probably sucked at fishing.
Not from what I saw. I realized in that time that my brother
he was an artist.
You would definitely be on Warzone, like with the headset
with my
and
feet?
fucking playing with your feet. There's no doubt in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably get that Neuralink shit. Play Warzone with my mind.
They had outfitted a car for that person that I knew.
Who was it that we
she could drive
didn't we
without
know
her feet?
Someone that went into an Uber?
Like a string that was like a gas pedal.
Someone told me that they went into an Uber and their Uber driver had no arms. And it was all feet. Was that you?
No. We ran into didn't we run into three
deaf Ubers in
Austin?
The driver was deaf?
Yeah.
Which should be some kind of reward. That should be like Yahtzee.
It was hilarious because
3 straight.
They still had like the volume for the Uber directions up, and one of the Ubers we got in, it was at like an excruciatingly loud volume. So like it would be silent, and then all of a sudden it would just be like, take a left! like the loudest noise you've ever heard.
Yeah.
That was a blessing having 3 straight ones, but I was never in with what was it? Unlegged or unarmed?
Someone told me that I forget who it was. Maybe it was a lie.
You can't have an unarmed Uber driver.
I don't think they discriminate at Uber.
What are you talking about? How low would your rating have to get for you to think I deserve An armless
I mean,
Uber
if
driver.
the armless Uber driver is getting me from point A to point B, I don't give a shit how he's doing it.
And it's probably like the comic going on stage. Like the audience is way more likely to give a higher rating because they're like, "Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
knee driving, like
Yeah.
LD." Yeah, that shit is impressive.
It is.
The disarmed, the unarmed folk.
I guess we're lucky.
I thank God for my fucking arms, legs,
Arms, legs, eyesight.
even just having all my fingers. I don't think I could like be a 9-finger guy.
Mm.
I don't know how
Man.
Dion does it.
I definitely could.
I mean,
Get rid of the pinkies. Be totally fine.
what? Pinkies are essential.
This pinky's going. This one's going.
It's dead.
It's just, I've broken it so many times that I don't think it's long for the world.
Yeah, exactly.
So you would just snip it off like Ronnie Lott?
I don't know what I would do. It's starting to fold in on itself. I'm getting clubby.
Yeah.
Sock puppet.
You're getting a mess?
I was born with 12 fingers.
Getting a little messy.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Let's
See?
see the scar.
Your scar's right here
Why didn't you keep them?
and here.
You're making this up.
I swear to God.
There was an old Phillies pitcher who had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot.
You can feel the bump if you want.
I don't want to touch it.
I
You don't
do.
want to feel it? Right here.
Okay, now I want to feel it.
Ew!
Gimme. That?
Well, you got to feel. It's right here.
It's like a wart.
Oh, yeah. There's a little scar tissue there. Is that
Yeah.
what that is? Probably scar tissue?
Probably.
Is
yeah,
that humans
from when they
evolving,
removed
or-
my fingers?
Huh.
Like, are
They
we
were just
going?
little nubs with fingernails on them.
Ew!
When friends
Yeah.
have babies and you say, how did it go? And they say, great, 10 fingers, 10 toes.
He was like, the Phillies pitcher wore number 24 because he had 4 extra.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And he didn't,
Antonio Alfonseca.
and he made it work. It didn't matter. And
Imagine-
they were functional fingers?
Yes. And imagine how good
Mine
of a
weren't.
Oh, yours were just
Mine were literally
ornamental.
they were just nubs with fingernails.
You definitely could have
Oh.
crushed on Warzone with a fucking.
Oh, if I had an extra finger,
You got to get rid of those. I see
yeah,
what
they
you're
got rid
saying.
of them instantly.
Those are not good.
It's not that uncommon.
It's pretty weird that
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying now and I get it. I was going to say that seemed short-sighted to have them removed, but just half formed, they were sort of kind of sprouts
Yes.
that never really
Yeah.
blossomed.
Yeah.
I see.
1 in 1,000 to 10,000 newborns. That's a broad range.
Mm.
Not as common as I imagined it to be.
No. No. But not uncommon. 1 in
No.
1,000 is not crazy at all.
Ew, you're called a polydactyl.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
A polydactyl.
I'm Polly.
Yeah, you're poly. Do you have them? Do you have your
Yeah.
pinkies?
They're in a jar at home.
Just pickled. Your pickled pinkies.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're saving them for a cocktail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put them on the edge of a cocktail,
Sometimes I like to strap them back on.
like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
What could have been?
Yeah.
I was typing. Imagine how fast you could type with 6,
Mm.
or how good you'd be at piano.
Piano, I'd be unbelievably good.
Rachmaninoff, famously, who's one of the great composers ever, they said that part of what made him so good at the piano was that his hands were just fucking gigantic. So he's got all these like crazy, tenths and 11ths where he's able to split his fingers across amount of notes that most pianists can't make.
I've seen stretches that pianists do, and the penis stretches are insane.
Yeah, this. And then there was one famous composer who ruined his hands by he would like string weights to them to try to make them bigger, the spread,
Right.
and it crippled his hand and he had to stop playing.
Well, I've heard of there's like penis enlargement surgeries that you can get.
I have seen ads for those. I have. But you have to go to weird countries.
Yeah, it's
and
like
it's
Turkey.
never covered by
Miami.
insurance.
Yeah, Dr. Miami.
Dr. Miami. I'm
Get better, be a better penis.
trying to get better at pianists.
Pianist.
I want my hands to stretch longer around my piano. Piano.
Shaz, you are a low-key good pianist though, right?
I used to dabble 8 years.
Yeah?
8 years.
Did
on
you
the
not know
keys.
this about him?
No.
You guys should play a crosshand
I can
piece
play. I
together.
can play Furley's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beethoven.
Yes. I have a photo of me performing at Barnes and Noble as a youth.
The fuck?
Yeah, I was just looking at this.
I love a photo of music.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really captures music like a still photograph.
Here I am at Barnes and Noble.
Wow. That's where you had your recitals?
It
Let me
was
see.
one recital.
Ours were in sort of concert halls.
There I am.
That was you.
Yeah.
What a good boy. God damn.
I
you're a
know. Look
good
at that
boy.
posture because they
Straight
make you
up and down.
They make you have your posture. Be
I
like
remember
perfect.
What happened to then since then?
I don't know.
I used to get so nervous for piano
I
recitals.
was thinking about that because I don't remember getting that nervous, which I'm surprised
Oh
by because now I
God.
would be shitting my pants.
It was so terrifying. So terrifying.
I never got. I had to do a duet with my teacher.
Your fingers would get sweaty, and then
My
you'd
hands would be
think that
soaked
they
in
would
sweat.
they would
Slip?
be slippery.
Yeah. My
Did you
hands
ever
would get
miss?
super
Did you
sweaty.
ever hit an errant note during
I think
a
I
recital?
had some mistakes.
I never fucked up.
One time I was playing Cruella de Vil, and I started too fast. Luckily, I knew it dead to rights, so I could keep the pace the whole time.
You just played
But
it fast.
My teacher after said that she turned to another teacher and said, "Oh no, he's gone.
He's going too fast.
He's not.
He can't slow down.
Yeah,
Did you have to memorize the songs?
some.
For some of mine, that one I don't think Barnes and Noble I had to.
Most of the time I did, but I got to a point
Yeah,
where
I
there'd be
didn't.
long songs, long classical songs, and then you'd have a page turner come up, and just as you were getting ready, you'd go like
Yeah.
that, and then they would turn the page.
Yeah.
You know
Slow
that
nod.
if your teacher was trying to do a duet with you, you were being groomed, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's exactly what was going on.
That teacher was the real deal. I was in 5th grade. She was this old Asian lady, and she made me do flashcards with random notes on them.
Oh, you did theory. That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took I took piano with my first teacher who was just like, go to her house. That was when I was really young, and that sucked. That was just playing like Mary Had a Little Lamb and shit
Yeah.
and Silent Night.
Mhm.
And then I stopped, and then I went back to a new teacher at like an actual music thing. And that was that old Asian lady, and that was hardcore. That was an hour-long class. And that was like flashcards. That was the one I did the duet with.
Mm.
And then I stopped. And then in high school, I went to a music theory teacher.
You played piano through high school?
No, I stopped in 9th grade. Put down the keys forever. And
Do you know music theory?
no, not really. It was really hard. That I didn't like. I never liked that. The teacher was cool, but I mean, he would try to make me like sing.
Mm.
He would try to make me like match the tone of the key of the notes.
Can you
And I
sing
was
center
like,
C?
Dude, I don't know what
I
no.
can.
I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Da.
I think it's a little
That's
lower.
not it. Da,
I think that's it.
da.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. I think that's center C.
And
We can
mommy
find
makes
this
me
out.
munch my M&Ms, yum yum.
Mommy
it.
made me munch her little box.
No, but I didn't like that because I just wanted to learn I just wanted to learn chords, and then I just went home and I learned the jazz chords, and that's all I really wanted to know. I wanted to be able to jam.
You wanted to be a jazzy jammer.
I just wanted to jam.
You wanted to have a piano skill that matched your fedora.
Yeah, I didn't want to learn how to play like long like Bach
Little C.
songs
We
and
said-
shit.
Wait.
Um,
Yeah, we had it. That's pretty impressive.
no, you corrected me.
You had G. I make that mistake sometimes. That's C right there. We had it dead to rights.
Damn, perfect pitch, boys. Guys, let's take a second to talk about Game Time. Game Time. Did you know that you can get tickets to a Knicks game, a Yankees game?
What a time of year for game
Bruins.
time.
Do you know you can go to the Brooklyn Cyclones, the Rangers, even the Islanders or Mets,
Wow.
and it's all right here on your phone at Game Time.
game time.
So simple, so straightforward. Just a couple clicks, and bam, you have been transported into a memory that you will never forget. New York Red Bulls playing this Saturday. Get in the freaking building. New York FC. I mean, there's so much going on. The Adirondack Thunder. Imagine being able to go to an Adirondack Thunder game. You might even be able to get tickets for Francis's special on Game Time. I've seen you on Game Time before. I've
Have you?
seen your tickets available on Game Time. Comedy, music, sporting events, live theater, if that's your cup of tea.
Yep.
You can get it all right there on Game Time. It's so straightforward. And plus, Game Time's the best place for last-minute tickets. They'll have up to 60% off of your favorite events. Unbelievable deals going on over at Game Time. I'm excited to go to Francis's show, and if available, I will buy some tickets on Game Time. That's my promise to you. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code BOYDAD for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. It can be easy to ignore our social battery and spread ourselves thin, especially with social gatherings picking up after the winter. What's the right amount of socializing for you? And how do you recharge? Maybe you thrive around people, or maybe you need some more alone time. Therapy can give you the self-awareness to build a social life that doesn't drain your battery. I like to use BetterHelp. I've benefited from it in a lot of ways. I now know that sometimes I like to recharge my battery. Sometimes I like to go out, see some friends. And I was able to find all of that information through BetterHelp.
I have a hard time understanding my social battery because I find that I'm all up for it, gung ho, and then I get out into a group of crowded people and I just feel absolutely unhappy.
Understood.
And need to go home.
Understood.
And it took me a long time to learn that.
Exactly, and you learned that with BetterHelp. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Find your social sweet spot with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/sun today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/sun.
Alrighty, let's talk about Rocket Money.
My stomach.
Jesus Christ.
That was a crazy stomach noise.
It's like the whole couch started shaking.
It's a tremor. Another earthquake in New York.
Francis, bring it back.
Let's talk about Rocket Money.
Yes.
Guys, we live in an age of subscriptions, and we have so many that so often we don't even realize when we are paying for something that we're not using at all.
They're hard to keep track of, all the subscriptions. Have you double paid?
It drives me crazy just knowing that I'm wasting money out there on stuff that I'm not even using anymore. Luckily, there's Rocket Money. It's a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. With Rocket Money, I have full control over my subscriptions and a clear view of my expenses. I can see all of my subscriptions in one place, and if I see something I don't want, Rocket Money can help me cancel it with a few taps. I love their dashboard, which shows me my month's spending compared to last month. Basically tells me exactly how much more money I'm saving, helps me with my spending habits. Plus, they'll help create a custom budget and keep my spending on track. Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you by up to 20%. All you have to do is submit a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. They'll deal with customer service for you.
Yes.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/boy. That's rocketmoney.com/boy. rocketmoney.com/boy.
My music teacher was a little nuts, though. He told us that he learned piano, or he learned music theory from, who's the super famous jazz musician? He died in 1955.
Charlie Chaplin?
No.
Charlie Bird? Bird?
No, but it's Charlie something.
Parker.
Charlie Parker.
But that's Bird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard anyone call him Bird, but he said that he learned,
right?
He said that he learned music from Charlie Parker. And I was
Charlie
like,
Parker wasn't a pianist, was he?
He learned music theory from Charlie Parker. And he was like, and then he went on to die of a heroin overdosage. And I was like, whoa. I was like, this is nuts. I'm learning from someone. And then I looked it up and I was like, dude, he died in 1955.
Yeah, he was lying.
You would have to be 80 years. And this guy was like 40.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, he lied.
And then he was like, it was a different Charlie Parker.
Oh, my neighbor.
And then I don't think I ever went back to him after
Parker.
that because it was like really weird.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to lie to a kid about.
I don't think he was lying, but I think it was like, dude, obviously when you say Charlie Parker, I'm thinking of one Charlie Parker, not like your friend Charlie
But why would
Parker.
you say his last name? That's like being like, yeah, I learned how to throw a football from Tom Brady.
It was very weird. And I know I wasn't making it up because my mom would come in to pick me up and like he would tell me and my mom these stories about like hanging out with Charlie Parker in like Canada and all this shit. And we were like, that's crazy. And we went home and we told my dad, and my dad was like, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was like, that didn't. Me and my mom didn't know how old Charlie Parker was, but instantly my dad was like, yeah, that didn't happen.
Right. Do you remember the mnemonic for the notes on the scale?
I don't even know what that means. What is the mnemonic?
You know, did you ever have a way of remembering a certain number of letters in a row?
Like Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior.
No. I don't know what I still don't know what you're asking me.
So, okay,
are you asking me if I can read music?
The treble clef, right?
Yeah.
Considered the right hand typically in the piano. The space notes, I think, was G, B, D, F, A.
Okay.
And
Good boys don't fuck ass.
Okay.
Good boys don't fuck ass.
Yeah.
And then the lined notes were E, G, B, D, A.
Yeah.
Every good boy does ass.
Is that right? Am I getting that wrong?
Good boys don't fuck ass. Every good boy does ass.
It's something like that. Yeah.
That's how I learned it.
No, excuse me. On the right hand, the space notes are face. It's face. F-A-C-E.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And then every good boy does fine was the right hand. And then the left, it was all good boys.
Yeah, I never learned. I just learned how to read music.
So you didn't have any sort of way of remembering that?
That's why I did the flashcards.
Me, I could kind of just play.
Sort of made sense.
Oh, man. Yeah. You could hear the music.
Yeah,
that's too bad. I thought maybe you had a fun thing.
No, I just knew how to play.
You kind of had an Asian upbringing.
Very.
You were like a tiger mom.
Yeah, exactly. They were just trying to find anything that I was good at, and none of it was landing.
Have they acknowledged that you're good at comedy? Are they aware of your ability?
No, I think they're just like,
when are you going to stop wasting your life and get back to piano, Harry?
Well, my dad saw me in Boston and he enjoyed it. But I don't think they think I'm like
What about
great,
your
which I'm not.
Social media prowess? When you were blowing up on Twitter, did your parents have any knowledge of that?
Yeah, well, they knew when I got posted on BuzzFeed. And that was a big deal in the house.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you show them or they saw it?
I showed them.
What did you get on there?
Well, a tweet of mine was on BuzzFeed.
Do you remember what it was?
Yeah, it was a hot dog meme.
That you made?
Yeah.
You were making memes?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It was a meme of that, what was it on Snapchat, the hot dog? And I like put him in on an old Vine thing. I don't know what it was. It was stupid, but it got like 100,000 likes and they put it on BuzzFeed.
Wow.
And it was like, this hot dog meme is slamming the earth right now or some dumb shit. 20 hot dog memes to start your Monday morning off.
Your studies are paying off.
Yeah.
You have been working very hard.
And mine was featured in it.
How about you being in on the Rolling Stone?
Yeah, that shit.
Now you're like an actual meme yourself. You're not even like making memes,
which is so weird. I don't even think that doesn't even really matter. Well, because then you get to a point where you're like, oh, being on BuzzFeed didn't do anything for me.
Whatever. I mean, it validated. It was a point of validation with your parents. I think that's a major thing.
No, I don't think my parents actually gave a fuck. I think they were like, that's cool. Them? Yeah, they were like, that's cool.
Sounds like they gave a fuck.
What about your follower count? Were you updating them on that? Mom, Dad, I have 150,000 followers on Twitter. I have 500,000.
Well, Harvard costs 400,000.
No, I don't think they. I think, yeah, I guess. I don't think they really cared until I got hired at Barstool.
Oh.
But I don't think I really cared until I got hired at Barstool. Like, I never thought it was going to be like a career.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely like the idea of you having Asian parents.
Oh, yeah.
It makes it way funnier.
No, they're not Asian.
I know. Nah.
It would be cool if they were, though.
That would be love if they were.
Yeah.
I just rewatched Parasite the other night. And honestly, it gave me a spook. I watched it right
movie's
before
good as
bed.
That is a little spooky.
It gave me a fright. I wasn't scared the first 8 times I watched it. But that's such a good
How did you
rewatch.
watch that
Guy that
movie
lives-
before bed?
The guy that lives under the house is spooky.
Yes.
He's spooky.
But I don't understand, how is that a movie that you like I would fall asleep. If I was going to watch that movie before bed, I'd fall asleep instantly.
Why?
So you got to read that whole movie.
That's what keeps it engaging. And I also know what's coming and happening.
Yeah,
I know it's
true.
good.
Yeah.
I know that it's exciting, but I don't know it so well. Like there's still, but it was the scariest that I ever watched it.
I watched this documentary called What Jennifer Did, I think.
Ooh, I think I might have seen that.
On
What is
Netflix?
it? What's it about?
I'll just give it away.
Fuck it.
Spoiler
I'm
alert.
not watching it.
I don't think it's really that worth watching. It wasn't Dynamite.
What did she do?
Yeah, she's this perfectly on brand for this episode. This sort of very studious Asian girl. Her parents are direct immigrants from Vietnam. They moved to Canada and do pretty well. And she's a prodigy at the piano and wants to date this bad boy who is a drug dealer, and her parents don't approve. And her dad says, "You can date him when I die."
She
and
kills
then
him?
she sets up the murder of her parents.
Yeah, I did see that. She stages a robbery.
Yeah, and blames it on 3 random black guys with dreadlocks.
Yeah. You know what's
It's
weird
like-
is actually I watched that before it was on Netflix. It was KB used to watch that YouTube channel where they would show interrogations
Oh,
and they analyze it and show when they're breaking down how they're lying.
yeah.
And it was an hour-long thing, and I watched that.
Well, the most interesting thing about this to me was that apparently in Canada, and I don't know if this is not true in America, but at least in Canada, they made the point that detectives and police officers in interrogations do not have to tell the truth. That they can just make shit up.
They'll be like, yeah, in the other room, they just told us you did it, so you might as well tell us.
Yeah. He can make stuff up. And he made up this thing to her where he said, "We have satellite imaging that shows an X-ray picture of what was going on in your house during this break-in that you allege happened, where you said you were tied up, and we can see that you were moving about freely. And so I know you're lying to me." And then she caves. I guess there's one stipulation that I guess it's you can't, I don't know, it had something to do with the country, but I thought that was, how could a kid ever, if a police officer's telling you, interrogating you, and they're like, "Yeah, your own mother just told us that you killed that person."
Fuck.
How could you not?
Damn it, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get away with it, Mom.
How would you ever not come clean on that, you know?
That is crazy.
I guess, I don't know if I'm against that. Right?
But you can, it can lead to false confessions.
Yeah, I guess. If you're dumb.
Facts.
If they were your mom said you killed them and you didn't kill them, you'd be like, "Well, I didn't." But if they're your mom said you killed them and you did, you'd be like, "Fuck, yeah, I did."
Yeah.
I think we always think about ourselves right now getting interrogated. We put ourselves in that position. But if I was a kid and I'm at the police office
Yeah.
and some guy is
The police office.
I'm confessing to anything.
Brendan Dassey would look like fucking Elon Musk compared to me.
Yeah.
Some of the kids, it's crazy how well put together they are. How unflappable, how they keep a lie going once they've killed somebody and they're a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I always thought the kids usually fold pretty easily.
There are some,
Or they break down.
This girl might have gotten away with this if
She
her
was
dad
crazy.
didn't wake up from the coma he was in from
Yeah.
being shot in the face and be like, "Oh, she's been saying she was tied up. That's funny because she was walking around with these guys who shot me."
Yeah, I don't even think she handled it poor. She handled it better.
What do you mean handled it?
She called the cops.
She lied well.
Yeah, she lied well.
She
and then
did lie well.
Yeah, and then she went into the interrogation and kept up her whole story.
Because they had an issue with the fact that she said she was bound to the railing, and how did she access her phone if her hands were tied to call them? And then how was she so clear on the phone if her phone was down here and she was yelling at them?
Yeah.
And she had an answer for everything. So you can tell that she would have been quite good
Asian.
at the piano. Yeah.
If
Exactly.
you're
She was on her way to a scholarship.
She was on her way to greatness.
Although as I say that, she had apparently not done well in college.
No, she was
because
like
she was
failing
spending
at
all her
everything.
time on murder.
Well, no, she was spending all her
Dating
time
that
with
drug
her
dealer.
drug
She
dealer
was
boyfriend.
obsessed with him, and he
Yeah.
was dating another girl.
Yeah, obviously. What if
She goes, "Do you love me?" And he goes, "I don't know how to say this. I feel the way that you feel about me, I feel about her."
Ooh.
Which I thought was cold.
Yeah.
and
That's a
also
kill
ballsy
shot.
to say to a known killer.
Well, she didn't kill anybody. Her boyfriend killed them.
Yeah, but they were broken up. She was obsessed with him, and then she hired him to come kill her parents.
So imagine what he would have done for the other girl.
Oh my God, he'd do it on the arm.
Yeah.
He got
He
Keep
would've
your money,
fucked
babe.
But he would have fucked the parents.
He got buddies to come do it, and one of the buddies' names was Homeboy.
His Christian name.
And the girl was like, "Call it off," and he was like, "I'm not doing that. Homeboy's all set up. He's coming tonight."
Homeboy is doing this for the love.
Yeah.
Homeboy's not even getting paid.
Homeboy's en route right now.
I told Homeboy he could kill.
They all got life in prison without no parole for 25 years. It's a long time to not play the piano.
Yeah, but in Canada, in Canadian prison,
Her
they probably
skills are going
have
to atrophy. I can tell you that much.
they probably have tiered organs
They
in every
might
cell
have
in Canada's
Steinways.
prison.
They
They
might
probably
have
have Steinways.
Steinways there.
Probably have a baby grand in the prison main foyer.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
They have foyers in their prison in Canada. They have an atrium in the prison in Canada.
Dude, how funny is it in Canada? They're so proud of their French heritage that even on a stop sign, they will write "stop" and then "arrête" beneath it. And in France, the stop signs only say "stop."
That's so crazy.
The French take their French less seriously than Canada takes its bilingual heritage.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I went over a bridge on the way here from LaGuardia, and there were like billboards that are entirely in Spanish, like for a radio show
Where?
in New York City.
We're gonna have to put a stop to that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to tear those
We'll
down.
vandalize those.
Yeah, that's-
just
We're gonna have to at least draw a mustache on the female co-host's face or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
We cannot just let that stand.
I don't mind the French. I mean, the French paraphernalia is fine. They're not stealing our jobs. But
Right. If the French start coming over the Canadian border, then maybe we have something to worry about.
yeah. Oh, you're going to take my job with your 35-hour work week demand?
Is that what the French do? They only work 35 hours?
It might not even be that anymore.
Damn.
They keep getting it less and less. You should go over there.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
You could be totally paralyzed.
You'd be the king of the French.
Get 2 weeks before anyone found out. Plus, it'd be covered. Your chair and all that treatment would be covered by the country.
And you start stooping
Yeah,
your
free
school's
healthcare.
teacher, become president. Your
Mhm.
school teacher who's also a man secretly. Have you heard this about Macron's wife?
No.
People think she's a man.
She's quite older than he, correct?
Yes.
Or am I mixing that up with the previous president?
No, that's him.
Oh.
She was his school teacher, and
Yes, that's right.
allegedly she started banging him when he was like 14, and they had to
Yes.
hide it until they were like he was 15 or 16 or whatever. There,
I
Ever
wonder-
having, you guys
consensus.
ever have a teacher who like married a student like a year after they graduated?
No?
I don't think
Did
I've.
you?
I don't think I
Yeah.
had that happen.
Really?
Yeah.
So you had that going on, and I just had a whole bunch of paralyzed people.
Yeah. We had a teacher who
That we
married
applauded
a girl who graduated. Like I think she had just
A
graduated.
girl?
Like
Was he the gym
3
teacher?
or 4 years ago. He was a gym teacher. Yeah. But not the one that was raping the kids. That was a different one.
This guy was consensually having sex with
You know what's
underage
funny?
kids, not raping them.
Yeah. You know what's funny is we had 3 gym teachers. One of them was a pedophile rapist.
I don't think we've made it one full episode without getting to pedophilia.
No, it is actually
I
pretty
don't think
funny.
we've ever gone a full episode
This is
since
funny
I
with-
joined the pod without at least saying "fucks kids"
Yeah.
one time.
But this is
This is
I'm
funny.
just realizing this for the first time. That we had one gym teacher who was fucking kids. We had one gym teacher who married a kid like 2 or maybe 4 years after they graduated. And then we had one gym teacher who was old and he would make like dumb blonde jokes. And he was the one that would be getting in tons of trouble constantly.
For the dumb blonde
For the dumb
jokes.
blonde
Yeah.
jokes. He'd be like, they're telling me I can't make the dumb blonde jokes anymore. And he was the one that all the parents were like, that guy's fucked up. He's making these nasty jokes. Meanwhile, the other 2 are straight up fucking the students. But no one cared. Isn't
Honestly,
that crazy?
because only one kid is being threatened when they're fucking the students.
Yeah.
And if you're making dumb blonde jokes, I mean, there's probably 25% of the class is blonde.
Yeah. He would get in so much trouble. He would always come in and be like, well, they're not happy with me again.
He should have just been fucking the kids.
Yeah, I know.
Could have saved himself a lot of trouble if he had just fucked the kids.
Yeah.
Really, you just have to become like a white Christian rapper if you're a gym teacher. That's the only salvation, honestly.
Like Token.
Yeah.
Token came up on my Instagram yesterday and he was getting destroyed.
Because he's like, all his raps are about his dad
His
now.
dad.
Yeah.
He was getting ripped to
He
shreds.
he has the one rap he's posted like 20 times where he's like, Dad, I was fucking a girl at your funeral.
Yeah, he's like, I brought a girl to your funeral. She was wearing a tight dress. I wanted to fuck her in the bathroom, but mom was there. And I was like, and all the comments are like, this shit hits on mute.
I can't believe that he's saying that in a rap song.
Yeah.
Is that because that's not like a trauma that you like have to get out or something like that? That's like you're talking about like a fleeting fantasy that you had.
Yeah.
It's also just so I guess he's trying to disrespect it. I think he's like, his point is like, Daddy, you weren't there for me type of thing.
Yeah, but like you never hear Drizzy rapping about that shit ever. Because like everyone should be taking notes from Drake right now. Yeah. Drake's on like a kill streak.
Yeah.
Literally.
Melee.
Yeah.
It's a melee.
I've listened to Push-Ups like 700 times.
Same. How about the Japan line at the beginning being about Future's assistant?
Yeah.
Oh, this is why I cannot keep up with it.
Well, I missed that at first, and then there was just a picture of his assistant called Tokyo or something like that.
Yeah, you gotta watch these like 45-minute.
I'm big in Japan.
Video. Yeah.
And he's saying I had sex with your assistant?
Yeah.
I'm in Tokyo because I'm big in Japan. Even the rhythm of that.
It feels disjointed.
But he must have been saying something, is my point, because the rhythm's so disjointed.
Draw attention to it?
No, I think that it's just, he was forcing it in there, so it has to mean something.
It does, yeah. I read a bunch of shit that it meant that about the future.
Well, we got to go to, where we got to go is Genius, right? Genius.com.
Yeah, but Genius it's broken down by fans.
That's fine.
So a lot of it is not accurate. Like you'll go to click on like any song and they'll break it down and they'll just be like, well, you just broke down the lyric.
But isn't there enough of a crowd fan base that much like Wikipedia, it almost self-regulates to the actual truth?
Yeah, there's some good. What do they call
Annotations.
it? Annotation. There's some good ones, but a lot of them are pretty dog shit.
So where are you finding all this out?
YouTube. You got to find like a nerdy white dude who has a 6-hour video on Drake's new song.
All right.
And he'll break down every word of the entire song.
And it's hilarious that we started off the episode by being like, these girls are reacting too much to Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Watching a 6-hour video being like, Drizzy said what?
Mm-hmm.
And then he made that AI song, which I don't know how I felt about.
Loved it.
It was good. His verse was great.
Dave,
Taylor made.
We were on the plane back from Rough and Rowdy, and Dave was like, explain this to me. I was like, you could just make AI songs. And she's like, so I can make like a AI song using Kanye's voice? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to make an AI song with Kanye's voice where Kanye disses Kanye.
Ooh.
Oh.
See? That's why they pay him the big bucks.
That's why he's a big brain.
Yeah. That's why he's worth $500 million.
Right.
You don't come up with ideas. The average person doesn't have ideas.
We could
like
never
that.
think of some shit like that.
No.
Kanye dissing Kanye. In Dave's like vernacular or something like that.
I'd love to hear a Dave written Kanye West song.
About Kanye West. You came with a blue bandana. What you're doing is actually bananas.
Oh, this is what I read about today. There was a comedian in Australia, but he's an American comic, Arj Barker.
Okay. I'm familiar.
His parents fucked him with that name.
Arj Barker.
Arj Barker? What type of cartoon ass name is that?
That sounds
Newspaper
like a Simpsons
cartoon
character.
Yeah. Family Circus ass name.
Yeah.
Arj Barker.
It's got to be short for Arjun Barker.
Even worse.
Yeah.
Arjun's not better.
But it also, in the comedy world, Barker is somebody who stands on the street corner and says, free comedy show.
Yeah.
And you get 3 minutes of time. If you can get 10 people in, you stand out there for hours. So it's like saying, Sam open micer.
That sounds like a slur.
Yeah. But he kicked a woman out of his theater show.
Okay.
Because she was breastfeeding in the audience.
I actually just saw this.
Yeah.
And he was getting too horny on stage.
He had a funny joke too.
Yeah.
He goes, I actually speak baby, and your baby's saying, let's go outside. Because the baby was joke. Like making noise.
Yeah.
I've never been more on a comedian's side of my 100%, life.
Yeah.
And then the woman made
Are people disagreeing with him?
Well, it just blew up as a viral story.
Well, why does he give a fuck?
If there's a baby?
If there's a baby being breastfed.
The baby's making noise.
What kind of are they? Like are a suckling noise?
Well, probably that. So it sounds like there's a brook running down the middle of aisle 7,
which is nice.
Why would you bring your newborn baby to a comedy show?
It's a 15+ comedy show as well on the ticket. So he was pissed at the venue staff.
And that ain't 15 months.
He's pissed at the venue staff for letting a baby in. Every comedy club has a 2-drink minimum, so it's a bar. You can't bring children
2 milks for my baby?
Yeah. You can't bring babies. I once was with a friend who had just had a baby. We were all out, and I had a 5 p.m. show at the comic strip. And my friends were all like, let's go. And they were like, can we bring our baby? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe.
Don't.
And we went, and we got up there, and they were like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah.
We're a bar.
Yeah.
No.
Did he get did he do like a crowd work thing and put it on TikTok? Is he milking it for clips?
I don't know. I didn't see.
But
the woman went on like news stations, and like it's divided the country. Oh, new mothers have it hard enough integrating back into society, and this is her one night out of the week, and she's gone to see a comedy show, and you're gonna kick her out of the show. And then the other people were like, 700 other people paid for tickets here. Why are you bringing your baby and disrupting us?
Also, women.
Why are you breastfeeding your baby in the middle of the show?
Well, I'm not going to tell women where they cannot breastfeed. I'm not going to go that far.
And it shouldn't be in the middle of a show.
My issue is not with the breastfeeding. It's with the fact that there's a baby there.
My issue is with the breastfeeding.
Really?
Yeah.
I've gotten into it lately.
Dude, imagine being at a comedy show and looking over and some lady just is feeding her child with her breasts.
Once you look enough times, it doesn't weird you out anymore.
Imagine if dads had to feed their baby through their dick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're whipping out your private part.
Yeah.
I'd step up.
That would be so
He's
weird.
Such a good father. He's such a brave father.
That would be so hard to pay attention to the show if there's just some lady breastfeeding next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go, oh great, I just missed the U-Haul bit. Great, and he already did U-Haul.
God, this sounds like...
Wait, so why is he moving into the apartment? How the couch fits where?
Wait, is he
I had a great...
Is he doing Schumer up there?
I actually know. I was going to say I had a great... actually, maybe I won't say this because then it'll be... no one will give a fuck. But I was in New Brunswick on Saturday, and I had 2 shows, and at the late show... I was great show. Shows were awesome.
Incredible.
And like halfway through the late show, there was a dude who was like, do the joke you stole from Amy Schumer.
Mm-hmm.
And I like laughed, and then it kind of just went silent. And then I was like, yeah, you can't do, I was like, dude, you can't be making deeply referenced podcast jokes in a room where none of these people even know who I am. I was like, they paid to just go see a random comedy show. They're not here, and now they all think that I'm stealing jokes from Amy Schumer.
If you say that, that's funny.
And my work here is done.
That.
If you go, my friend put it out there that
I explained the whole
Amy Schumer
thing.
do this, and did people laugh at that?
Yeah, they loved it.
So
but I was like, yeah, but it was funny because I was like he said it, and in my head I was like, I'll just move on. And then I was like, no, they're all like,
that's
what the fuck happened?
Yeah, he has walked an elephant into the room.
Yeah.
And
then someone else tried to say something, and then someone goes, shut the fuck up.
Nice.
And then it got real tense. And then I fucking, I worked them. I got them back.
You sound like great shows. Indeed.
They were. It actually was.
Just on the verge of violence.
I know, it was hilarious.
It's sometimes more awkward when the person screams, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That guy came up to me after, and of course it's this like 5'6" dude.
Wow.
And he's like very small and quiet.
Everybody's a
and
wrestler.
he's like, I'm sorry, I was the one that yelled, shut the fuck up. And he was like, I just really hate when people yell out at comedy shows. And I was like, all good, dude.
Yeah, it sounds like you need a good laugh more than anyone.
Yeah. I was like, fine by me.
Yeah.
That's not who I pictured to be the person that yelled.
Yeah.
It was like deep in the gut, like
Right.
the whole room like shook when he yelled. And then he comes up and it's like a kid.
So
I
basically,
really don't like
you're
when
saying that people
interrupt.
from now on should yell out, do the Amy Schumer bit because it makes your show better.
No. If anyone yells that again, I'll just ignore it. It was a one-time thing.
You're going to have to explain it. Otherwise, people will think you're a thief.
It is so. I've told this story before, but like people do love referencing podcast things and not realizing that like I'm not on the level where it's like the rooms are filled with people who are just there for me.
Yeah.
Half the room is there. They got free tickets through the website.
Yeah.
Like it's not. So like, well, I was at the stand one night.
They knocked over a triangle of milk bottles at the country fair.
Yeah.
Come
and they
see.
won tickets.
Congratulate.
Yeah.
We've got a winner. Come see.
Strongest man at the fair.
Little Sasquatch at the Stress Factory this weekend.
No, literally, half the people that are at my shows won the tickets somehow. There was a raffle somewhere and they won it. But I had a guy.
They had their hand on like a Toyota at the mall for the longest or something like that.
No, they came in second place and they won. No, but it was there was one of my this was like 2 years ago at the stand. There was like some dude in the front row and he just goes, KB is gonna have that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, dude, that's for only me and you understand what you just said. And now
Yeah.
everyone else is confused.
I mean, I was in Detroit and someone yelled out, "You killed Castellani."
Oh no.
And I was like,
Was it Castellani?
what is that? I mean, I was like,
Did he
oh, no,
emerge?
I can't even begin to get into
No, because that's the thing
that.
is a lot of that shit. It's like, dude, this is going to take 10 minutes to explain and it's not even going to be funny when I explain it.
Yeah. No, exactly. But they don't know that. They know you through that.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's something that they followed.
yeah.
And we appreciate them.
The trials of the 250. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly, dude. Don't even get me started.
Bingo.
Definitely was feeling like I earned my spot after New Brunswick.
Definitely
Just
felt like
just
you
a staple in the 250.
rose up the power rankings at the 250.
Dude, local crowds are so fun.
Yeah.
Like they're just there for a comedy show. They don't
Yeah.
care about anything else.
Yeah.
Whereas New York crowds,
No, but when you do a show, like that's what happens when you do a show and it sells out. A lot of the people there are like, when's he going to talk about Roan? Wow, how come he's not talking about playing Warzone with Pat Bev? Like that's what they're expecting. Like when we did Albany, I got a DM after and some dude was like, show sucked. You guys didn't talk about Barstool at all. And it was like, yeah, dude, because that's not what we're doing.
it also will be that would like narrow the view of it all.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, I'll be shooting my special
Yes.
June 1st in Chicago.
I'm
at
in the building.
Subterranean. The ticket link broke in the first 24
Guys,
hours.
we shut it down. We broke that shit.
And I got so many messages from people being like, what happened? Is it sold out already? And it really pissed me off because I thought I'd made a pretty funny video with those golf balls. I don't know if
Yeah.
you saw that. Pretty goofy. And I will warn you that before it broke, we sold a lot of tickets. So there are not many left. And
Two
that's
shows,
it.
right?
2 shows.
One night
Um,
only.
What's
Ye-
the venue?
Subterranean.
Okay.
It
Me
only
and
holds
Sass opening.
200 people.
Yeah.
Sass is going to come do some time. So come get your tickets there. The ticket link is in my Instagram bio. It's Punch Up Live, Francis Ellis. You'll find it.
Also, Pop Punk plays the night before in Chicago.
That's right.
No way, really?
Roan and I are settling up together at the Four Seasons.
We're gonna go to the. You should,
Come to the Four Seasons.
I'll be at the share. I'll be at the
No, you need to come to the Four Seasons.
I'm not going to spend money on. That's
You
one thing that I still
must.
haven't gotten around to spending a lot
Bro,
of money on.
treat thyself.
Dude, it's just a bed in a room.
No,
You're not at the Four Seasons.
not when you use your Amex Platinum card and you get the $70 breakfast credit and the $100 resort fee.
Bro, I've never once woken up on time to get breakfast at a hotel.
Well, you will this time because you have a 4 p.m. guaranteed checkout. Thanks to Fine Hotels and Resorts per the Amex Platinum card.
4 p.m. checkout?
You can stay that long.
That's pretty awesome.
They
I'm
ask
still not
you-
gonna do it.
They
I'll stay at
ask
the
you, they
Hilton.
say, are you going
I'm
to use
Hilton
it all?
honors,
And
bro.
I say, I'm going to use every fucking minute. And you leave your room at 3:59 p.m. and there's a maid who is bored. She has been waiting all day to get into your room to clean it. It's the last one.
How much are you paying for my spot?
It's a good question. I'll pay you.
You'll pay travel and all that?
No.
Yeah.
No, I'll throw you something.
No, you don't have to pay.
Just pay. Why don't you just get him a room at the Four Seasons and pay him with that?
That's
that
significantly
is way
more money
than I was going to pay him.
That's more money than he would pay for the show.
What's
Four
the
Seasons
special?
was expensive.
It's a special, you greedy bastard.
I'm not the greedy one. I'm saying don't pay for my travel. I said he didn't even have to pay me for the show.
I'm going to pay you for the show.
No, I don't need to get paid.
No, don't.
You asked.
No, I'm going
Which
for.
means-
I was joking when I asked.
You
Means you're
weren't.
needy
I
and
was.
greedy.
40% of all jokes are truth, especially when it comes to money.
I'm going for
Then
the
it's
love of the game.
50%.
I said I don't even have to do the show. I just want to go and I want to be
No,
there.
we want you there.
I want to see it.
He'll be there. The team's going to be there. Big fun night event.
I'm getting there Wednesday. Gonna go scope out the venue, see if they're treating you right.
Same.
I'm pumped.
I'm gonna go in a disguise on
Yeah.
Wednesday.
We got to go to the Pop Punk show on Friday.
Yeah,
So you should come in early, and that means you should get.
You
want
wanna
to
sing a song, Sass?
not at all.
Play the piano.
Rocket Man.
No, not even a little bit.
Get out there and play Furley's.
Yeah, maybe I'll play the piano.
How about some Claude
I'll
Debussy?
I'll do a recital. I'll play Still
Sweet
Dre.
Bergames. Yeah. Crip walkout.
But I'll also
pumped.
be in. I'll be in. Baltimore this weekend at the Port. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There are tickets available for that, so come to that.
Sweet.
Anything from you?
I got Sacramento coming up in a couple weeks.
Nice.
That's gonna be ill.
We'll come support you for that. We'll be in the building for Sacramento.
Filming my special in Sacramento. Kind of. I don't like to make a big deal about it, but
Light the beam.
me and France actually decided we're gonna put our specials out the same day.
Yeah, joint special. You're gonna popcorn the
Like
special.
Kanye and 50 Cent. Remember that?
Yeah.
We're gonna
Of course.
conjoin ours so it's bit for bit. So it's
Yeah.
like shows one of France's, shows one of mine.
A Siamese special. All right.
Cool.
Sweet. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you on Thursday. Goodbye. Yes.
I mean, that's as good as I can